You're listening to the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Let's put the spotlight on property investment now, because the General Directorate of Identity and Foreign Affairs, they're the people that give us our visas, and the Dubai Land Department have just signed a memorandum of understanding to bring real estate and residency services all under one umbrella, one system. They say the new initiative is going to streamline property investment by cutting red tape, and they've got this overarching aim to boost investor confidence. Joining us now to discuss it is Zacky Sajjad. He's the Director of Business Development for the property consultants Cavendish Maxwell. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. How is this new plan going to work? It sounds good. Is it good in reality?
Yeah, look, it's very positive actually for the market. If we look at what's been happening through the golden visa systems, essentially one of the routes to a golden visa is you invest 2 million dirhams or more in a property, and then you can go and apply for your golden visa. What they're doing with this initiative is streamlining that. So rather than having to go so typically if you're looking for a golden visa on that route, you'd have to get a firm like ours to value the property, give you an independent valuation report that states it's 2 million dirhams or more. That then has to be ratified by Dubai Land Department, and then you go to get your residency visa sorted out. So this is a sort of streamlining that, which is what Dubai does best really, and the UAE does best. It's bringing those services together, so it's quicker, more efficient, and that should in turn boost more people to sort of apply for this route of a golden visa.
Do you reckon it was always in the works, or do you think they've brought it forward because of the conflict?
Look, I think it was probably always in the works. Definitely, when you have these a situation like this, which is unprecedented, perhaps they're thinking, well, let's fast track this. I think also, if we look at what's been happening in Dubai over the last few years, the city across all sectors has just been booming, and everybody's been so busy, and everybody, I think, is being sort of quite busy with what's in hand there and then, with business as usual. So I think at moments like this, it takes time, it gives us time to reflect and actually look at where can we make improvements, where can we find efficiencies, and I think this is also a part of it, perhaps.
Why is this idea of residency security, this golden visa, such a key factor for people looking to invest money in Dubai? Do you think what is it, the chicken or the egg? Which comes first? Do they want residency or do they want a property?
Look, I think it's both. And if you look even in sort of other mature markets around the world, people want to, if they decide to relocate and go somewhere, they want to be able to call that place home. And we've all been here quite a number of years now, and we enjoy living here. We know all the benefits and positive side of living here. Having these sorts of programs, these sorts of incentives where you can extend that length of stay to 10 years, 5 years in some of the options, just provides a bit more comfort to those sorts of people. And when we look at a population in Dubai and the UAE, which is 90% expatriate, this is providing comfort to that expatriate population. It allows you to sort of put down roots a bit more. Yeah.
We always presume that this sort of whole golden visa thing is around people buying homes to live in, because the two sort of naturally correlate. But do you sometimes find that people are getting the golden visa because they're investing in commercial property? Is that even allowed?
Look, that is... there are investment visas for golden visas, so in a roundabout way, you can do it through that route. So it's not just through a real estate investment. You can also get it through certain salary criteria. So you can get a golden visa through that route as well. So look, I think when you look at it from a commercial real estate standpoint, eventually, when people come here, one of the initial incentives for this was to get high net worths and ultra high net worths to relocate to Dubai. Once those people are here, they then start thinking, well, I'm not going to sort of just sit here and do nothing. Let's start looking at what can be done in terms of, from a commercial aspect, what businesses could they invest in, what could they do? And you then see that spillover demand, which is what we've seen. If we look at the residential sector, we've seen a phenomenal rise in volume and value of transactions. And then the commercial real estate, be that both from offices, retail and warehousing, it then sort of, see the knock-on effect.
You've actually just published a report on the retail sales. Can you walk us through the key numbers in that report? I understand that they are surging, or they were before the conflict.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously the report is sort of 2025 in review. So if we look at the year of 2025, we saw 4.6 billion dirhams worth of transactions in the retail sector. That's a 48.4% increase year on year. And interestingly enough now, Off-Plan for the last 2 years now consecutively has overtaken Ready Properties in the retail sector in terms of transactions. So if you'd have looked at that in, say, 2021, it would have been a fraction of the transactions. So
what's that telling us? Is that pent-up demand?
Yeah, exactly. I think, obviously it's been well discussed about the rise of population. Last year, we look at the tourist numbers, all of this has a spillover demand onto the retail sector. What we have seen, though, is obviously, although the value has gone up significantly, the volume has decreased slightly. And what that's telling us is that more people are renewing rather than buying new.
Okay, so that that's arguably also good because it means the shops are surviving, rather than that quick turnover where people go bust.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also another sort of interesting aspect of that is probably because to relocate and to move in somewhere new, you're going to have to pay a significant premium, right? So stick with what you've got and make it work.
Really interesting. Unfortunately, though, the figures to a certain extent might feel slightly out of date because of what's happened in the last month, the last 40 days. What impact are you expecting to have on the market, and what's your outlook? Look,
I mean, I think right now it's still all fairly new, and real estate being quite an illiquid asset class is quite difficult until we've got at least a quarter or several months worth of data to really analyse. So, and with off-plan, as with residential off-plan, these things can take time to register those transactions. So, you're going to see probably certain transactions that took place before the conflict began that are only being sort of registered, today, because there is a 60 to 90 day lag sometimes with that. So, unfortunately, a bit too soon to really tell. But what I can say is, obviously this is having an impact. But what Dubai does do best is bounce back from these situations.
Zacky, thank you very much indeed for joining us in the studio today. Really fun to get over to consider both of those topics with you. So thanks for your time. Yeah. Zacky Sajjad is Director of Business Development for the property consultants Cavendish Maxwell.